Bro, if you're still waiting for a sign, if you're wanting to upgrade your RTX 3070, yes, this is the sign. If you want to upgrade to the RX 9070 XT, yes, this is the sign. However, the question would be, how much performance are you going to get with the RX 9070? Especially now that prices are outrageous. So we're going to test both of these cards and these games. We're going to run it on 1440p. Let's throw 4K in there as well. We'll put these cards in our system right here. And for those who are new to the channel, this is our testing methodology right here. Okay, let's start with our first game. Warzone, and we are dropping at Verdansk, boys. Now we're running 1440p with upscalers here. DLSS on the 3070, FSR4 on the 9070 XT. Now before we look at the numbers, I want you guys to look at the GPU power. We have 220 watts on the 3070 and 297 watts on the 9070 XT. The FPS difference is really high. That's almost what, 50% more on the running benchmark and actually 60% more on the firing benchmarks. Gains on the lows are pretty significant as well. 25% to about 40%. That's a significant upgrade if you're playing Warzone. Another popular game is Marvel Rivals, and here we have 1440p native, and clearly there's no contest here. The RX 9070 XT is an upgrade. That's 80% gains, boys, on the average FPS and about 75% gains on the lows. That's night and day. Next up is Delta Force, and we are running 1440p native in here. We're also gaining about 50% more performance, all the way up to 70% across the board, whether we are on the walking benchmark, the static benchmark, or the firing benchmark. The 9070 XT is just a different beast for this game. And this model is also much cooler compared to our RTX 3070 from Palit. Look at that one, boys. Look at the difference in terms of temperatures, okay? In Apex Legends 1440p competitive settings, this one's really interesting. Now, we do have a 300 FPS hard cap on this game. However, on our heavy action scenes, we are GPU bound and we are reaching 300 FPS with the RX 9070 XT, which is definitely more stable compared to the 3070. Look at the raw difference, okay? The 3070 does make it up when we are on static scenes, but that's still what, about 30% gap with about 80% difference in terms of the 0.1% lows. And before we proceed, if you boys enjoy videos like this, click the subscribe button. It's totally free. Okay, let's move now to games which are highly competitive and requires a lot of FPS, which may be CPU bound. Now, we're looking at the driver overhead here. So for Fortnite performance mode at 1440p, we are not bottlenecked by the GPUs here, although the 3070 is at a 90% around there. The RX 9070 XT definitely is an upgrade here. Massive difference in terms of load, 45%, that's huge. Moving on to Valorant 1440p, and for those who are following the channel, you would know that Valorant functions differently. The more GPU usage you have in this game, the more stable your results will be. So in here, 1440p, we have the RX 9070 XT having a much more higher raw FPS, but the 3070 is much more stable with both our running and heavy scene benchmarks. We'll have to see how this turns out when we go for that more casual 4K. Power-wise, the RX 9070 XT is still much more efficient here compared to the 3070. 220 watts against 150 watts. And PUBG 1440p DX11 Enhanced API. Now, this game scales really well with GPU performance, and look at the difference, right? We've got about 65% more FPS with our RX 9070 XT and up to 90% better in terms of the lows on the running benchmark. When we move on to the heavy mortar scene, the 3070 does try to catch up here. However, the difference is still massive. 50% on the raw FPS and about 70% on the lows. Clearly an upgrade. Let's move on to less serious games. Games which doesn't have any PvP components, where we crank up the settings a little bit higher. So in Helldivers 2, we got 1440p medium settings in here. The 9070 XT is just much better here. 65% better across the board, whether we're on the Gatling benchmark or on our stratagem benchmark. It just demolishes the 3070, so it's definitely worth upgrading to. Next up is Palit Exile 2. This game generally favors Nvidia cards when we last tested it at 44p with DLSS DLAA and DLSS with
quality settings, look at the frame times. Now I was going to do a 1440p test here, but looks like it's terrible without DLSS. So we'll stick with upscalers in this game at quality. So versus the RX 9070 XT, the 3070 loses to the 9070 XT. This is probably one of the lower gains that we have with the 9070 XT against the 3070. Still an upgrade, but it's not that much. Let's see how this one pushes on when we go to 4K. Finally, we have CyberPunk 2077. This is native 1440p at ultra settings. It's a single player game, so let's crank the settings all the way up. And boom. Look at that one, boys. That's almost double the gains. If you're looking for a sign to upgrade, yes, this is what I'm talking about. We'll see how this one turns out when we go to 4K with upscalers. Okay, let's move on to 4K gaming. And I know a lot of you guys will probably not play at this resolution, but hey, if you're more of a casual gamer and you want to fully utilize your 4K monitor, let's just do this. In Warzone Verdansk with upscalers, you're still getting really decent FPS with the 9070 XT here. That's what, 200 FPS with the 9070 XT, and the lows are actually not bad at all. It's clearly viable, not the highest FPS, but definitely more viable compared to the 3070. Even when we go to the firing scene, it's the same thing. It's about 60% gains for the 9070 XT. In Marvel Rivals with upscalers, DLSS on the 3070 and FSR4 on the 9070 XT, we are both GPU down in here. However, there's still a massive difference here, boys. 120 FPS for the 9070 XT, while you're getting only 70 plus FPS on the 3070. Really huge gains. That's 60%, right? Around 60%. Definitely worth it if you're going for this resolution. In Delta Force, we've used upscalers here as well. DLSS for the 3070 and TSR for the 9070 XT, as this game is only limited to FSR 2.1. Anyway, on this game, we are fallback by the GPU. The 9070 still has that massive gains over the 3070. About 40% or more on all benchmarks, walking static or the action benchmark. So the 9070 XT is clearly an upgrade. In Apex Legends 4K, now both cards are not able to hit the cap now. We've got about 200 plus FPS on the 9070 XT and about 120 FPS on the 3070. That's pretty low. Heavy scenes, we still have better stability with our 9070 XT, and on the static scene, the 9070 XT is definitely showing its dominance here over the 3070. Look at that one, boys. About 80% lead over the 3070. Really massive as well on the low. Moving on to Fortnite 4K performance mode, we have fully utilized both GPUs here at about 97 or 98% utilization. GPU power is now reflected as what we have on our other team, wherein there's that 70 watts gap. In terms of performance, the 9070 XT is a decent upgrade compared to the 3070. That's at least 35% gains with the 9070 XT and maybe about 60% on the lows, which is much higher than our 1440p test. And yes, this one's viable if you want to do some build skirmishes at 4K. In Valorant 4K, we have fully utilized both of our GPUs here, hence we're getting maximum stability for both cards. However, in terms of raw performance, it's definitely an upgrade here, boys. That's almost 60% more gains across the board, coupled with that stability. No questions here. If you're one of those niche 4K Valorant players, then yeah, this one's definitely for you. You'll get that sharper resolution, sharper video quality. And unlike Valorant, I could definitely see people playing PUBG in 4K because of that visibility that you gain from higher resolution in this game. And in here, we're still getting about 60% gains on the average FPS and massive gains on the lows with our running benchmark. When we do go into our mortar benchmark, the gains of our 9070 XT has slightly reduced, but that is still a sizable upgrade for the 3070. Moving on to our games, which are more laid back, no PvP, and once again, we have Helldivers 2 at 4K native medium settings. Our FPS here is now at the 80s with the 9070 XT. It sounds small, but that's still about 60% more performance over the 3070. And hey, you can always enable the in-game upscaler. Yes, it's not as good as DLSS or FSR. So far, this one's clearly an upgrade, boys, whether we are on the Gatling or on our stratagem benchmark. On Path of Exile to 4K with upscalers, this one's not as big in terms of the gains. As I've said before, this game heavily favors Nvidia cards. AMD really needs needs to work with grinded gear games here to further utilize their hardware. That's pretty minimal in terms of gains. You're only gaining about 20%. So yeah, I think it's worthwhile to look at modern Nvidia GPUs if you're only playing this game. And lastly, we have CyberPunk 2077 4K Ultra with upscalers. It's a clear win here for the RX 9070 XT, which is expected because it's a modded card. We're barely able to play with the 3070 here at 30 plus FPS. The 9070 XT is only at 70 plus FPS. It's playable. However, since this is an Nvidia sponsored title, we still don't have FSR 3.1. We only have FSR 3, which means we can't really enable FSR 4 via the driver level in this game unless if you use like other software. But yeah, the 9070 XT is still pretty good in this game at 4K.
Man, those gains are really impressive. You can get all the way up to 100% performance on CyberPunk alone. That's pretty good with our RX 9070 XT. However, because of its popularity, this card may be overpriced in some regions. You might be considering the RTX 5070. Right? That guy, not the Ti, just the 70. We actually did a video wherein we compared the 9070 XT against the regular RTX 5070, and I think the results are really interesting. So if you're considering that because of the price, I think you should click this video right here. I'll see you guys over there.